Hey everybody, this is Jody, and I'm going to try to start me a YouTube channel on metal detecting and exploring, inspired by Nugget Noggin and Aqua Chigger. So if you haven't heard of them, please check out their pages. Those guys are awesome in what they do. Anyway, I recently got into this hobby just a few months ago, and I've been enjoying it very well. And I just like to take the time to introduce myself and show everybody what I found and the tools that I use and how much fun I have doing this. So having said that, let me show you a few things here. This is the Garrett detector that I just purchased a few months ago. It's the Ace 200. It's entry level, and I enjoy it very well. It's a has the tones and also shows the numbers. Since it's got sensitivity mode, which is 0 disc, jewelry, and coins, and it's picking something up. Probably the nails in the table. Anyway, that's the Garrett that I use. This shovel right here is I bought one of those small ones from Lowe's with the short handle, and I fashioned this handle myself out of some steel bar that I had and just welded it and welded me a T-handle on the top. It works quite well that way. And before we get into stuff that I found, this right here is a Bounty Hunter quick draw, and it also has the disc notch and sensitivity, and it shows the depth and what type of metal you're digging. I like it pretty well. It seems to pick out the small stuff in a real iron infested area. I also use the Pro Pointer 2, the Garrett, and don't leave home without it. And I've kind of waterproofed mine a little bit, following advice of, again, Nugget Noggin and Aqua Chigger. And this is my trowel. This snap is killer. This is my trowel. I made it myself. I hand fashioned it out of an old propane tank that I had, and I like it. It works pretty good because of the cheap shovels that you buy, like from Walmart and places. They don't last no time. But anyway, without boring you to death, this is some of the stuff I found. This is just some household stuff. This is a brass hasp. This is a super old key that I found up here behind my house, and I don't know what it goes to. It looks like a house key. This copper chain right here is cool. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I found this at an old wood and water tank site, and what they would use these for is that there was a ball float that attached to this, and it was made out of copper, and it was probably 6, maybe 8 inches round. I have one here somewhere. I just have to find it. But it's from an old wood and water tower, and I thought that was pretty cool. This is an old buckle that I found and an old hinge off of something. Not sure where that came from. And I found this around an old burnt home site. It's an old crocheting needle, and you know, to me that holds a lot of history. Also, these are some of the bottles that I found out digging. These old medicine bottles. Cork tops date from the 20s. This is an old castor oil bottle. It's in super good shape, and I really like it a lot. I also found these. Some of them are chipped and broken, but that's alright. I still enjoy having them. Found this one too. It's some kind of tonic bottle. It's pretty cool. And this is an old Lysol bottle that I also found. The top's broke, but I thought it was neat anyway. Here's a couple old marbles that I found, and you metal detecting guys, you know what these things are. These are harmonica reeds, where the old timers would sit out on the porch and drinking iced tea and blowing on the French harp a little bit. I thought that was neat. And here's some old shotgun ends from the shells that I found from the 30s. These three are all 12 gauge. This is a 16 and that's a 410, and they all date back to the 30s. There's some UMC 12 gauge Remingtons, and there's another kind in here as well, and I can't think of the name right offhand. This is an old Slaymaker lock made in the USA. I'm not really sure how old it is, but I know it's vintage. I thought it was cool. This is a lipstick tube from Avon. Dates back to the 50s. Found that around an old foundation. Here's some of the buttons that I found. I recently got permission to hunt a few old home sites, and this is some of the buttons that I found. I found this one. This one is awesome. It's a World War II general. It's a general button, just a general soldier button. It went on the jackets, the long jackets. It's pretty awesome. I think it's really cool. I was fortunate to find that. It's in super good shape. I found that at a different place. Found this. I'm not sure what this is, whether it's a button or what. Maybe some of you guys could help me. But I thought it was neat. These I found in the same places where I found all those bottles that date back to the 20s. This is an N&W, which was a garment factory that made bib overalls and work jackets for the miners. Yeah, I'm in West Virginia, and I'm in the coal fields in southern West Virginia, so there's a lot of mining history around, and I'll get to some of that in a minute. And I found this old cross. It's a cross that went on a chain. I would assume it appears to be made of copper. Thought that was cool. Also, here's a few of the coins I found. This silver dollar was the first silver coin that I found with the Garrett, and it's in really good shape. As you can see, it's a 1926 piece dollar. Super good shape. I was up on the mountain here behind my house and found an old area that looked like somebody had farmed. See, what they used to do on the side of these hills where the land wasn't flat, they would take the rocks and pile them off to the side. That way it would clear, even though it was on an incline, it would clear off an area for people to farm, so they'd plant their corn and whatever. And that was how they done it, because it's mountains around here. That's all we have. But anyway, that's where I found this silver dollar. I guess some old farmer or some work hand that probably lost all that he had that day. Also, I found this Merc dime. I've got an old school beside of my house that dates, I don't know how far it dates back, but it was during the segregation. It was a school for colored folks, and thankfully that's gone now, but that's where I found that. And here's a couple old Wheaties that I found. You can't really make them out too well because something in the soil here just chews on these pennies really bad. And this right here is some of the mine stuff that I found. These are all tags, as you can see the numbers. They've all got numbers, and what these were assigned to the miner. And when he would go into the mine, he would take, say, this number 99 tag and put it on the inside of the board. It hung on a nail, which was to show that he was underground. And when he would come out and go home, he would take his tag and put it on the outside to show who all was in the mine. That way, in case of an emergency, they'd know who to look for. What this is really cool. This is a lens from a carbide lamp. I don't know if any of you know anything about mining, but if you get a chance, Google a carbide lamp and you'll see how these guys actually had to work. You know, it was tough jobs. But this went on that lamp. It worked off the carbide gas, and right here in this small hole on the bottom here is where the striker went. It struck just like a cigarette lighter. And that's how they would see underground. That stuff's pretty cool. I've also got some of the railroad spikes that went underground, but I don't have them out here right now. And I really enjoy finding toys, and I find a lot of Matchbox cars and from different areas, from the 70s, 80s, and it doesn't really matter to me. I enjoy it. This cap gun here, it's a Top Gun Junior. The handle's missing, unfortunately, but it dates back to the 60s, and who knows who had that in their hand and played with that. That's really cool. And I also found these Monopoly pieces. They probably look familiar to you. The Money Bag, which is retired now. It came out in the 98, I think. And this is the car, of course. It's very well known. And this right here is neat. Having grown up in the 80s, these are what they called good luck tokens. And you could custom make them with the little machine they came in. This one happens to say Virginia and Teddy R. I don't know who they are, but I found that around some old home sites just yesterday. And this right here is an old It's a Uncle Sam's play nickel. I don't know if anybody has ever seen them before. I had never saw them before, but that is cool. It dates back to the 60s. It says 1968 right on the front of it. It's really cool. I'll try to get the date in there for you where you can see it. But I thought it was really neat. Never seen one before until I found this one. But anyway, that is pretty cool. I enjoy finding these old toys because there's a lot of history behind them. Again, I like doing this because of the history. I'm not looking to make it rich doing this. I know I probably never will, but picking up a piece of history is just cool to me, and I really enjoy it. Anyway, that's some of the finds I found, not counting all the junk, which way outnumbers all the stuff that I've kept. And if you get into this, you're going to find out that that's going to be the case for you as well. But just keep digging, because if you don't swing over it, like Nugget says, if you don't swing over it, you'll never know it's there. So get out in the field and get your metal detector going, and bring your family with you, and have a good time, and enjoy what God has given us here, God's great earth, and dig up some of the past. And again, thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you like it, and I hope you subscribe, and there'll be, Lord willing, there'll be videos in the future of some of my adventures out in the field. And I wish I'd started earlier, but what better time to start than now? So come along with me, and we'll go out in the mountains here in West Virginia, and I'll show you guys some of the cool stuff. Maybe I'll go back to those old water tower sites and show you around, and give you a little bit of oversight on that, and show you some of the old mine areas. And I'm going to do some, as soon as I get me a magnet strong enough, I'm going to do some magnet fishing in some of these old mine ponds, and I'll show you what that stuff is, and in some of the creeks around here and the rivers, and see what we can fish out of there. Hopefully something cool, because I want to show it to you. That's what I want to do. So you subscribe, like, do whatever, and we'll see you next time.